Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. Welcome to the show today. And I have a little announcement here. I wanted to show the chart of this DAX. As you can see here, we've been in this really tight trading range here for quite a few days now. And whether it's going to pop out to the upside or the downside remains to be seen. But we did hit a 61% retracement this morning relatively early, and then we backed off just 100 and so points in the DAX, which is not very much for that market. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And then also we want to take a look at the UK market, because that market has been in a downtrend, and we just completed the Gartley pattern also at the 61% retracement. So both of those have lined up pretty good. I wanted to mention a little bit about this big astrological event that we talked about in my newsletter, and then also had Norm Winsky on the fact that we haven't moved very much from this level. I've said this before on this show that this stuff is all probability based. I remember the most vivid one that I can ever remember was in 1989, November of 1989. I wrote in my newsletter that if this event wasn't on every newspaper in the world, that everybody would get a free 1-year subscription. I had several hundred subscribers at that time, so that was not just a small thing. Well, it was the fall of the Berlin Wall, and the market did absolutely nothing. I mean, it didn't even move at all. It's like it was non-event, but it was a big astrological event. So I don't know what's going to happen here, but Norm has given us some really great stuff through the last couple of years. So just because he's missed one time, I had a poll last night, and we've decided to put him on a 9-month probation, that after 9 months, if he studies really hard, we'll have him back. But I was overruled, and we'll have him back very, very shortly when we have our next new moon coming up, because he does a great job for us as always. Let's talk just a tiny bit about Bitcoin, folks. I mean, it just made a new high just a little while ago. And what I wanted to mention to you is they talked about, the fact that Bitcoin was collapsing. Folks, it was not collapsing. All that was collapsing was the spread between the futures and the actual Bitcoin price itself. That was the premium, because they put in a big premium in that thing. It traded close to 19,000, and now it's trading down around 17,500, I believe, and they've taken that premium out of the market. There were only 3,400 contracts on the first day. Let me explain to you how big 3,400 is. If we had 1,000 contracts on the first day of trading in the S&P 500 on April the 16th of 1982, I would have been surprised. Leo Melamed and Byron Tucker had to literally go out into the floor and pull people out of the currency pits and the T-bill pits and the Jenny May pits, just to put people in there, just to pretend like there was something going on. That's how dead it was. The S&P was trading for 103, and the futures were trading at, the S&P was trading at 103. That was the cash, and the futures were trading at 101. So you could have bought the futures at a discount, held it to the 3 months to maturity, and made that difference, but nobody was interested. The action was in the T-bill pit. That's where everything was happening. Interest rates were 13%, or coming off of 13%. And of course, in August of that year, that's when the bond market finally bottomed at 54 in the bonds, and at a rate of around, I think it was 12% or something like that. And then it had that 34-year bull market that we finished in July of last year. So that's my 2 cents worth. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what's happened. This morning on Bloomberg, the Winklevoss brothers, Cameron and Tyler, were on. These were the two guys that started Facebook, of course, with Mark Zuckerberg. If you ever saw the movie Social Media, how much of that is true, I have no idea. But those young men have really taken all the money that they got from their settlement with Zuckerberg, which was $175 million, and they put it, from what I understand, almost all of it into Bitcoin 4 years ago. And 4 years ago, I don't know what it'd be worth now, but it would be worth a lot. But what they were talking about was the fact that, you know, the valuation of gold is like $7 trillion, and the value on Bitcoin is something like 300 or 400 billion. So they're equating it to gold. Whether that's right or not, I don't know. But, you know, it's getting a lot of excitement, folks. And whenever you see excitement, you're going to see some really great opportunities. So we're going to be following it. And I think we'll have some fun with it, and we'll take a very quick look at it. One of the other markets that we're really following closely here is the gold. I mean, every day I look at it, I want to buy it. And I have to say, I'll have to wait just a little bit longer, I guess. But we're really close to this really important 78% level down here at 1242, 1241. That's going to be real interesting. But, you know, silver's breaking down, you know, below the 78% level. And also the platinum hasn't made its I'll think about that, Jim. But platinum hasn't made its bottom yet, but we're getting really, really close, and I think it's going to be a really, really interesting one. Yes, the euro, Bob. We're right now. Just a minute. I think I have the euro up here because I was just looking at it just a few minutes ago. As a matter of fact, I tiptoed into the long side of it. If I can find the chart, that's the $64 question. Here, I think this is it right here. Yeah, here we go. There, we got it up right here, right around that 1740. Let's just get this up. I don't know where it's trading right now, but we just hit this 61% level at 1750, I believe. I don't know where it's trading right now, but it's trading at 1744, so that's spot on. That was the number, 1744, so you don't have to risk very much, you know, to see if you're right at that time. So this is a really critical level here for the euro, folks, because if it doesn't hold here, you know, that big pattern that we saw in the U.S. dollar getting above 9,400 is in effect, and we want to be watching it. But there's so many things to watch. You know, it's really, you know, the bonds look like they're going to go lower. You know, we have a Fed meeting coming in, and everybody's saying they're going to raise rates, and I imagine that's what they'll probably do. They should have been raising them years ago, but, you know, who knows? We'll see. But anyway, this gold one is going to be interesting. We come back from the break. I want to run something by you that I've been thinking about, and in fact, it was brought to my attention by one of my old Drexel customers who listens to the show here. And he said, why don't you do something like this? So I said, well, let me think about it. And the more I thought about it, I said, you know, maybe we'll try something like that. I've never done this before, but we might do a campaign in gold because that could be really interesting. If you remember, those of you that belong to the 24/7, December of 2015, we were making that long-term, I think I can put it up here to show you, we were making that really long-term bottom. Yeah, there it is, way back in December of last year at 11:30 in the, let's get this up here so we can see it. We were looking for the, you know, the buy and the thing. We made well over $140 on that contract. Of course, it went $300, but, well, $270. But what we're going to try to do this time, and I'll discover it I'll talk about it when we come back from the break, but I'm going to do a campaign, you know, like, you know, adding positions, pyramiding. We're going to see, looks like 1212 looks good. I like it. 877-927-6648.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profile So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Larry takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Okay, folks, I posted the chart of the Australian dollar. This is one of the things that we looked at yesterday. We also looked at it on Friday. We went right down to that number at 75.10. We're now trading at 75.65. So it's moved well over $600 in your favor. So you certainly wouldn't, if you bought it down there, you certainly wouldn't want to see it go to a loss. But that's how you try to manage these things. Let's take a quick look here at the crude oil. This is the chart that I put into the newsletter on Friday. It was a 135 pattern. If you'll notice there, I said that 135 pattern was in place, and if it went above 58.50, this pattern would have failed. Well, we hit 58.52 in the crude oil. We're now trading around 53.33, which is really nothing. But the thing that I wanted to bring to your attention is, folks, the crude oil got tremendous. Really a tremendous about a good news here in the middle of the night. There was a problem with the North Sea thing for the Brent North Sea crude oil started to move to a premium. Well, it's already at a premium, but it started to go much. It was up about $1.10 at one time, whereas the most we could get on the crude oil was up about 50 cents. So and then they had some numbers come out showing that the crude oil stocks were down. So none of that news really made the market go up, which is rather interesting. So whether that's going to mean anything or I don't know, but the fact that you have all this bullish news coming into oil, it hasn't moved as yet, and maybe it's a little early, I don't know, but that would be one thing I would be wondering, because as a trader, if you have really good news and the market doesn't go up, boy, that's not a very good sign. And if you have some really bad news and the market doesn't go down, that's also a very important thing, because that usually means that the market is going to see that. You're correct. If we get above 5,900, Mr. P, in that crude oil, 60.62 is really not much of a problem, because the heating oil has been leading the way, and it is still, going up quite a while. So we'll watch that as we go through looking at some of these things this morning. I want to get back to the gold market for just a little bit. When we were looking at this, I just wanted to show you the gold market from way back when it was making the bottom down there at 1130. We showed you that 3 drive to a bottom pattern on the daily, but this is a 4-hour chart, and this is what I'm thinking of doing. We have the service of 24/7 where we watch some of these things. Sometimes I'm not as active as I should be because I'm so risk adverse for the people at TFNN. But there's something that I've always followed that I really think we should share with you folks, and that is when these markets bottom, and let's just put this gold chart up here, and you'll see it here when we bottomed back in last, I think it was December, as I recall. Yeah, I don't remember the exact time. What was that, December? Yeah, 14th. Yeah, December 15th. That's when it bottomed. Wow, that's in 3 days. We got to watch that very, very closely. But and you'll notice that after we bottomed there, you'll notice those little cycles that were due. There were 1, 2, 3, 4 cycles came together. Those were nothing more than 18-day cycles. That's the nominal cycle that Hearst talked about in his book, The Profit Magic of Stock Transaction Timing. And what we want to try to do is to try to buy on retracements into those nominal cycles. So what I'm thinking of doing is for the 24/7 people is to follow this on a day-to-day basis, putting on our original position on gold wherever it's going to be. This is the 12th, the 15th is coming up here on Friday. So Monday most probably is where we're going to be entering the gold market. Now, Bob Miner made a really good point yesterday that I really paid a little bit of attention. Well, I pay attention to all the stuff he tells me, but it was very important. And that was when he talked about using GLD, the ETF for gold, because it's a lot less volatile. And I think that's what I might try to do, is to put this program together for adding, pyramiding contracts if it works. And the good part is you're going to be pyramiding with winter, so you're not going to be buying down, so you'll be averaging up, and you'll be able to protect yourself and build a position. So we're going to try to do that starting next week. I'm going to put this program together over the weekend and present it to the folks, and then take a look at it. We might even do a special webinar on it if it starts out the right way, because we were really bullish on gold last year, and it turned out to be pretty good. Actually, it wasn't our best trade of the year, of course, was the shorting the British pound. It drags it at 150, but this will be one that we'll want to watch, very, very closely. This gold chart looks really good long term, folks. Silver doesn't look quite that good, and platinum looks absolutely horrible. But if we get these down here to see, you're exactly right. The part about the pyramiding that is great opportunity, P, is also the fact that you have to have the management of your stops, and that's what this whole thing is all about. You have to take time and price into consideration. The two things you've got going for you here is that you're buying into weakness with good fib points, okay? So you know that you already have a profit in one. You're going to be looking to add your second position at a profit, and so you're really risk-free on the trade. That's the whole thing. And then if it starts to work, you wait to the second one. So we're looking at four entries is basically what we're looking for. And then after the fourth entry, we'll just hang on and see what happens. I did this at Drexel for quite a few years, from 76 through 1980. I did this in gold, and boy, I made a lot of money. But gold was going pretty much straight up, especially during 79 and 80. Well, it topped in January of 1980, but all during 78, 79, and into January 20th of 1980, it was pretty much a no-brainer. Even if gold backed off $34 or so, it didn't stay there very long, because a few days later it was back into a new high. So we don't see those we saw one in stocks, but we'll see if this is going to happen. The question someone's asking about about Bitcoin being in a bubble, folks, I have no idea. All I know is a lot of people are looking at this, and it's a different type of technology. It's not about Bitcoin. It's about blockchain mining. And if you really want to find out about that, go to www.tfnn and click on John Jameson's program that he gave, an hour and a half description of what Bitcoin is really all about, blockchains and stuff like that. And it'll give you an idea. But there's a lot of cryptocurrencies out there, well over 1,200. And there's no way all 1,200 are going to make it. There might be a half a dozen or a dozen that do make it, but we'll have to be able to see. Yes, I believe Sunday night, the Merck comes in with their CME trades for the blockchain, which will be interesting. I noticed that Interactive Brokers does not allow short selling with the Bitcoin. They allow buying, but they don't allow short selling. So I don't know how that works, but we'll see. Anyway, just take a look at it. This is what we're looking at as far as the price objective. We're still looking at this price objective in Bitcoin to come in somewhere around 19,000. So we're at 17,200 right now. So we're not very far away. That could be, by the time we finish this show, who knows? It's so wild. But there's going to be real swings. You're going to see really wild stuff. So even though it's a straight up move, it's been straight up in a very, very methodical fraction, following all the numbers of the Fibonacci sequence very nicely. We're going to take a break here. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we are, let's just give me 1 second here to see if I can pull up the gold chart. I just brought it up for, wow, there it is. I think this is it. Just bear with me 1 second. Here we are. Let's look at this together because this is going to be really interesting where we are. You're going to hear this beeper go off pretty soon, and we'll be, see, what does the cash do when Bitcoin sells off? You know, those questions, I have no idea. That's so far over my pay grade, P. If you'll just email John Jameson, He can answer that question for you. He's in Bitcoin, he's in Bitcoin Cash, and he's also in 3 other of the cryptocurrencies. But basically, what he did, he sold some of his Bitcoin and rolled it into the cryptocurrencies in order to protect the downside, because he figured they would go down less, and that's exactly what happened. But let's take a look here at the gold market, and this is what's interesting. You'll notice we just made a new low here at the I haven't put it up here. Hold on one second. Let's get this chart up. I hope I have the gold chart up. Here we are at 1241.80. You'll see that little dotted line I have there. That's where my beeper is. That's where the red line is. That's if it breaks the 1240 level. The actual 78, that might be it. I hear the beeper going off. Let me look. Hold on here. That could be it. Just one second. No, that's the other one that I'm watching. Hold on one second here. Oh dear. I got to turn this off. Give me a second, boys and girls. Hold on just a second here. I wanted to do something here. Hold on. Doggone it. Give me a second here. I have to turn off the beeper here on. Hold on one second. Control. Oh, there we go. Watch. My beeper is going off on the Treasury bonds because we're breaking below the 78% level. You know, we're very, very bearish these bonds, and it looks like it's got a chance to, to go a great deal lower. So what I'm watching now is the gold, because the low has been 1241.30, and I'd like to see it get right below 1241. And then I am probably going to tiptoe in with a very small position, only because we're right at that 78% level, and it certainly looks like it could be okay. Now, I mean, look at crude oil. With all the bullish news that crude oil has had, it's only down about 60 cents a barrel from the high. But the question that I had is, with all that bullish news overnight, why wasn't it able to explode to the upside? I just don't quite understand that. So that's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on. So anyway, we'll be watching the crude oil. If you want to take a look at crude from the long side, all you have to do is to go to a 15-minute chart, and you'll take a look at the 61% retracement from the last move. That would bring you in right about the area of around 50. We're trading at 57.75 now. Wow, we really dropped a lot here, didn't we? Holy cow! Yeah, we're down a buck, almost a buck a barrel. It should have some really good support at 57.55. That's 25 points from where it is right now. That's equal to the last correction that we had between December 8th and December 11th. So that's going to be a very interesting one to keep an eye on also. So watch that very, very closely. So I got several things on the watch list, especially the gold. But actually, the best time to be buying gold would be December, let's see, 15, 16, 17, 18, the 18th, which would be Monday. So Monday the 18th is what I'm going to be looking at to be a buyer of the gold for sure. Please show your, okay, you're asking me to show my Treasury bond chart. I think we can do that for you, Mr. Z. Hold on one second, and I'll get this over here so we can take a quick look at it. It'll take me a second to, just a second. I have to draw the line in so you can see the line that I'm looking at here, because this is what I wanted to show you. I'm changing the color of the line so that you'll be able to see how what I think is the importance of this line, because there we go. Let me get this up here now. I have to email it to myself, which takes me, like 1 second or less, and now we're ready to go. All I got to do is to find that puppy, and it shouldn't be too bad. Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? No, that's not it. Hold on a second here. Oh, doggone it. Boy, that's the trouble. I found it. There we go. Okay, here's the Treasury bond that I'm looking at right here. And take a look at it. This is what we're watching right here. You'll see the 78% level was at 52.26. We now broken below that. That sets up a large ABCD that's going to take us down way below 51, folks. And with the Fed coming in tomorrow, I believe is the Fed day, you're going to be looking at a market that could have a pretty big break. This thing has been bearish for a long time. We posted these, several times throughout here the last few weeks, but it's really the bond market does not have many friends, as it shouldn't, because look at the price objective that you're looking at here in Treasury bonds. If this is a big ABCD down, you're looking at in over a period of 2000 and sometime around the spring of 2018, you could see the bonds get all the way down here to 126. Well, if you say that's impossible, well, go back to look in 2016, over a period of about 16 weeks, it went from 177 to 146. That's 31 points. Take 31 points off of 152. Guess where you are? Ta-da! 126. So it could certainly easily do that. So these things look pretty negative to me. Whether that'll have any effect on the stock market at all, folks, remains to be seen. It really is. That's one of the things that you want to try to keep an eye on as you're looking at some of these going through. Tomorrow we're going to have Al Larson from Money Tide. He's one of the smartest people I've ever met, and all around devil may care type good guy too. So you'll enjoy that. He was the author of one of my favorite books, Your Electric Life, that explains how the lunar cycles work physiologically, and I think you'll enjoy that. I think he still has that book for free online, but he'll tell us tomorrow, give us an idea of some of the things that he's looking at. So we'll pay pretty close attention to Al. Okay, now let's check out. Want to see how the markets are doing. Just let me get 1 second to take a look here, and we'll have a pretty good. Gold is still doing nothing. Stocks has sold off a tiny bit, not very much. We made new highs in the S&P. We made new highs in the Dow. We did not make new highs in the NASDAQ. Whether that means anything or not, I'm not really sure, but it's going to be interesting to watch. I don't think there's any question that we're going to see some increased volatility here, over the next, all of 2018 would be my guess. So we'll see if we're coming. We're still looking for a price of the Dow keeps going up and the S&P keeps going down. So a little bit of a spread going on there. Okay, let's move on here to the I want to point this out to you. Here is a absolute perfect trade setup, something we don't trade very often, but let's just take a look at it. This is feeder cattle. I mean, it's a very thin trade. Well, it trades thousands of cars a day, but nothing like the big stuff. But it's still big. It's basically a commercial market. But as of the close, I don't know where cattle opened yet this morning, but feeder cattle are right at the moment of truth at this 144 level. I don't know if that's going to be it or not, but you have a perfect ABCD pattern there. You've got a 78% level off of the low in August and a 38% level off the low in March. So keep an eye on cattle.
It's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Think or Swim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour, brought to you by Nadex. Next on TFNN.
Okay, as Basil Chapman would say, we have a bifurcated market. The Dow Jones up almost 100, the S&P down, around basically unchanged, and the NASDAQ down 20. Boy, that's certainly a divergence. Okay, folks, I want to try to show you something that I've been watching for quite some time here, and it should come in here very, very shortly if I can find it, and that would be right here. And we are going to take a look at something we don't see very often, which is platinum. You'll notice here we are almost at the perfect level, about another $6 or $8 lower in platinum. We're going to be right at a monster ABCD going back from March to May of last year. And here we are from September through December. So that would really be a very interesting one to watch. And of course, we're watching gold at the same time. So right around this 870 an ounce in platinum. Boy, it's hard to believe that platinum is selling at such a discount to gold. Guys, back in the days of Drexel, you know, we were looking at platinum at a 50% premium, you know, over gold. But that's when we drove cars that had engines. But now everybody's driving an electric car, so it really doesn't. Looking at, you're right, Mark. That is a very strong bullish in both gold and silver and platinum. Starting around the 15th, and that's on Friday. So we want to watch this. I'm looking at this price level just below 1240 in the gold to see if it's going to be anything really interesting or not. But gosh, we had 25,000 in the Dow, I believe, and they haven't even yelled and screamed about it today. So maybe it's a little early to have the party a little bit later. But they've already got the hats that say Dow Jones 25,000. I've got a hat that says Dow Jones 45,000, but I've had it for 23 years. We'll see if it'll be coming at that time, so we'll be watching it. The bonds are still under a little pressure. I believe we're going to be looking at much lower prices in these things, so we'll keep a very close eye. We're almost at the 61% retracement in the crude oil that we talked about. That's at this 57.70 level. In fact, we hit it. We hit 57.70. In the January crude, we're trading at 57.79 right now. So that's another one that we need to keep an eye on. But the one that I think is the most important today is if that gold can get under the 1241 level. The low so far has been 1241.30. It's a buck higher right now, 1242 and change. That would be the one that I would think would be, very, 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 very interesting. And of course, the Dow is still going strong in this first hour, and that's mainly, 1 second please, mainly due to Boeing Airlines. Boeing increased their dividend by 20%, and then I think they sold, they were selling 777s to people in India right off the street. So evidently that's going well, but Boeing is hot. That's one of the hottest stocks going. We're trading close to $300 a share, as I recall. But that's causing one of the bigger parts of the Dow. And of course, it being an expensive stock, it doesn't take much, to get it up into that area. Okay, Someone asked me a question about how do you set up trades in the morning. What you try to do is you can't follow everything. That's for sure. So you try to pick the 5 or 6 things that you think will happen, and of those 5 or 6, there'll probably be maybe 2 or 3 of those 5 or 6 might fulfill what you're looking for. If that's the case, then those are the ones that you want to be watching. Like today, the euro had a really nice setup at this 117.44 level. We've been as low as 117.35. We're trading back to 117.44 right now. That was one. Another one is this potential gold trade. If we get below 1241, the risk there is not going to be more than about $4 an ounce. And if you have $4 an ounce, which is $400 in a contract that's 12,420, that's about as good as you're going to get, boys and girls. And then, of course, the Treasury bonds, but they've already broken down, and you'd stop would be at break even now because you had been selling at the 152.26 level and then looking at it. And then the crude oil would be the fourth one, and that's very close. And we're at 57.76 right now, and the low has been 57.70. The 61% retracement comes in at 57.69. We've hit 57.70. Here, you don't have to risk more than 30 cents. 30 cents is $300 on a contract that's 57,700. So that gives you, a pretty good shot to, keep an eye on that. So those are the ones that we're paying attention to very, very closely. If this euro gives up, folks, and goes below 117.20, that is going to be a very bullish sign to the U.S. dollar and also a bearish sign, to the euro. So watch it very, very closely as we go through. And then I didn't bring cattle into that group because feeder cattle are first a very, very small amount, but the cattle themselves have been setting up for a real bullish sign. This is what we covered in our we cover in our newsletter 24/7. You'll notice that we'll put this up so you can take a look at it. That was the buy in cattle, which yesterday 117.70. I think we're trading at 118 now. It hasn't went up very much, but the risk here is very small. We hit the exact ABCD of that. That's a Gartley, and as Gartley said in his book, you buy ABCD corrections into a bull market, and that's what you're trying to do, and that's what I'm thinking about doing as far as a webinar to trade this gold market, is to buy these ABCD moves if it fulfills what we think is going to happen. That means bottoming sometime in December in these next few days, and then we'll do that webinar probably sometime early in the year, like maybe the first week of 2018, because that could really be a big one. So we'll see. We'll be able to see. You're right, Fletch. You hear bubbles. You don't hear crash anymore, but we'll be able to see what's going to happen. That's pretty much. Well, is there a cattle report today? Yeah. Well, they certainly. Yeah, they could certainly do that. But I just look at the patterns. That's all you can do. And if you bought it down there, with the price was 117.80, I believe, was the exact ABCD. You got a little bit of a head start on that, and then you'll be able to take a look at it. So yes, they are talking about Boeing at $400 a share. I don't think it hit it today, but it might. You just don't know for sure. That's what you're paying attention to. So we'll be looking at it right now. And okay, one other question. Oh, yes. I was definitely joking about Norm Winsky not being on for 9 months. Norm and I are good friends. He gives us a lot of great information here. He's given us some fabulous trading ideas, of course. And I respect the fact that he put his, stamp on this. He's still in that last, this is the 11th, this is the 12th, so might have been off by 1 day, but if this happens to be the top in the stock market today in the Dow, then we'll have him back on sooner than later, but we'll wait and see. But that's neither here nor there. Someone's asked a question about Bitcoin. Folks, if you have questions about Bitcoin, I'll forward them to John Jameson for you, because he really understands this far better than I do. I try to learn a little bit every day, but it's not an easy thing, to get on. And I wish heck I had more information on it, but I'm really learning it just like you did. I mean, he tells me that this is the internet on steroids, and you're looking at the internet from 1989 or 1990, and that was the ideal time. So we'll take a break here. Pay a few bills. 877-927-6648.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, I'm going to go back to H.M. Gartley's book, Profits in the Stock Market. And no, Gartley said, you sell the first ABCD pattern in a bear market. Boys and girls, you're looking at Tesla Motors at 337, and there's your ABCD right at the 382. So keep in mind that you want to use a stop of about 1%. So if we get above 341, I would say this is probably wrong, but this is where it's trading now, 336.70. That completes the ABCD, and we'll be able to see if it's going to continue to moving in that direction. So just keep a close eye on it. That's going to be a really interesting one to watch. We'll follow it as we go through this thing. We're getting close in the metals, folks. This is the toughest part of trading, is having the patience to wait for your prices. So the best thing to do is, this is a Tuesday, I guess, so we'll set on our hands and wait until Friday. We might get prices down as low as 12.12 in the gold, maybe even lower. I don't know. But I think we're coming into some major bottoms here in the metals that should be, very, very interesting. So that's what I think would be very, very important to look at. So Remember, we have Fed Day coming up. I believe that tomorrow is Fed Day. So we've got, that's going to be the time of doing it. But we're already seeing a break in the market for the bonds. They've already broken below the 78% level. That doesn't mean they can't bounce from here, but that's pretty much what we're watching as we look at these. So we'll pay attention. We've got the S&Ps now down a little bit. The Nasdaq's down 20. The Dow is still up about 70. So it's still the leader of the pack. And it would take a reversal in Boeing in order to get it. We're almost back to that 61% retracement. Now we're right there right now, and the crude oil. So watch this, because if we break below this 57, and we just hit, there's the number right there, 56, 57.60. So we'll see. Amen. Save and pass.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.